analysis is being performed from bar 1 all the way to bar 5,300. Okay, so I want to change the start to 1500. Click on the date just to confirm it, 17th of October 2001. There we go. Notice what Sentient Trader does. Okay, the left-hand edge of the chart, the area that is not being included, has been grayed out. Sentient Trader is not going to be analyzing that part of the data. Sentient Trader will only be analyzing this part of the data. Okay. As a matter of interest, I noticed a few things in support recently. People who had charts that had grayed out or white bars at the right-hand edge of the chart. Okay. A grayed out or a whited out bar in Sentient Trader is a bar that is not being included in the analysis. So obviously, if you want to analyze right up to today, then it should be included. If you don't want to analyze up to today, if you want to step through the software and perform some form of sort of manual backtesting, let's see what the analysis would have been 2 months ago. It's very simple. You simply change your analysis period. You set the date to to sometime in the past. There we go. And now Sentient Trader hides all of that data. Okay, or it plots white bars. My particular setup has it hiding it because under Tools Options on the Chart tab, I don't have that option selected. Plot future price when back testing. If I do that, then you'll see some white bars there. Okay, these white bars are not going to be analyzed under the current analysis. All right, I actually do want the analysis to go all the way up to our latest bar, so I'm going to say that. Okay, having defined my analysis period, that is all that I need to do. Okay, you can zoom in and look at it. Then you click on this green button, Perform a Full Analysis. Okay, Sentient Trader will then perform its full analysis. The first analysis that Sentient Trader performs on any data will always take much longer than initial analysis. The way that Sentient Trader works, and this is an answer to another question that we often get, you only set up your chart or your workspace once. Okay, and it performs an analysis. And in this case, Sentient Trader has recommended a trade. I'm just going to click on OK. And then Sentient Trader will ask you to save your workspace. Why is it suddenly asking me to save the workspace? Because I have an option set that after completing an analysis, Sentient Trader should automatically save the workspaces. That's the best thing to do. That way you never lose your data. How often have you typed up a document, made changes, closed the program, and you've lost all your changes? Okay, Sentient Trader by default will automatically save a workspace as soon as an analysis has been completed. This workspace has never been saved before, of course, because it's a new workspace, so it wants to know what I want to call it. So I'm going to call this Workspace Trader Chat ES. Okay, this is my ES workspace. Okay, and so there we have it. There is the analysis. Okay, now of course the next thing that you need to do is take a look at the analysis and decide whether you think it's a good analysis. Now that's fortunately something that you're going to spend the rest of your life developing and perfecting. Hurst cyclic principles are wonderfully complex and beautifully simple at the same time. And looking at an analysis and deciding whether it's a good analysis or whether it could be improved upon is something that is a skill that I hope that you will constantly develop and constantly improve upon. I am still improving upon it. Sentient Trader performs by default, if you set a good analysis period, Sentient Trader performs a very good, very viable phasing analysis. Okay, of course you must get involved in the Sentient Trader forum and do what you can to improve your skills in terms of judging the analysis. But what usually happens by default, unless you have it turned off as I have, is the two boxes pop up when an analysis completes. They are the current cyclic model table. That is a table of all the cycles that have been found in this data with an indication of what's happening for each one of those cycles. Take a look at our online user manual for an explanation of how to understand your current cyclic model table. And the other thing that will pop up is the analysis summary panel. And here you have a summary of the analysis that's been performed, a text summary that provides a tremendous amount of really fascinating bedtime reading. It also provides you with a list of all the projections that have been automatically calculated. If you have the trader edition of Sentient Trader, it will also provide you with trading information, such as recommended entries and exits, and all that kind of business. If you have the analyst edition, of course, there is no trading information because the analyst edition doesn't perform any trading decisions. Okay. As a matter of interest, those windows pop up all the time at the end of an analysis by default. You can pin them or unpin them, as you can see over there, and you can close them by clicking on this little arrow. If you get tired of those windows popping up and you only want them to pop up when you want to see them, which is what I do, you go to Tools, Options, and you go to the Chart tab, and if I can find it, here we go. There are two settings on your Chart tab which will block or enable the popping up of those windows automatically. Show Cyclic Model Panel and Show Analysis Summary Panel. I hope you can see those settings over there. I have them unticked because I don't like those windows popping up all the time. The windows pop up by default so that you know they're there. It's a kind of a, when you start working with Sentient Trader, we throw all the bells and whistles at you. Okay, here's your summary analysis panel, here's your cyclic model panel. So you can take a look at all of them, okay, and enjoy them. As soon as you know how to get them, I would suggest that you untick those two settings so they stop popping up all the time. Okay, you can at any time, as I just did, you can at any time select to view them simply by going to the View menu and selecting the panel that you want to view. Okay, we're getting near the end of today's Trader Chat. The last thing that I want to show you to answer one of the really sort of biggest questions we have is how should you work with Workspaces? And I mentioned previously that in an end-of-day workspace, you should really only have one instrument with different analyses. Okay, so people say, well, what does that mean? How do I perform a different analysis? Okay, all I did was I clicked on the Analyze Now button. Okay, how can I possibly perform a different analysis? Well, it's actually very easy, and let me show you how. It'll take me only a few minutes. I'm going to add another chart to this same workspace. So I click on the Add New Chart to Workspace, NinjaTrader data again, and I'm loading the same data. It's the ES ## daily data. Okay, and what am I going to call this chart? I'm going to call this alternative, because this is an alternative analysis. Okay, and then I'm going to click on the OK button. Sentient Trader, of course, loads up that analysis. What's the easiest way of getting a different analysis? The easiest way of getting a different analysis is perhaps you've read on the forum that in fact the March 2003 trough is more important than the October 2002 trough. Perhaps you read that on the forum. How do you get Sentient Trader to do that? Very simple. You define a different analysis period. You go bar 1920. Okay, say OK, and you click on the Analyze button. Okay, and so then Sentient Trader will perform its analysis on this particular chart, and once it's performed the analysis on the chart, you have two different charts in the same workspace. And the workspace, of course, is called Trader Chat ES, and you've got now two different charts in the same workspace, and these two different charts have different analyses. Why would you want to do that? Well, perhaps you would want to compare them. Okay, so let's do that right now. Let's switch between the charts and compare these two different analyses. And I'll get the zoom as close as possible to the same. I'll pop up my semicircles, there we go. And now if I tile these charts horizontally, okay, then you can see the charts one above the other. What happens if you don't want to see all of those irritating title bars and everything? You simply click on the View maximize chart display menu, okay, and then you can look at your charts one above the other, okay, and you can even get them to line up with each other properly, and you can compare the analysis. There we go. Now those two charts are lining up, and you can compare the two different analyses that you have created. Okay, how do you get out of maximize chart view? Simply double click one of the charts and it will pop it up full screen. What if you're still not happy with that analysis? You still don't think that analysis is correct? Let's create another chart. It is so easy creating charts and producing analyses that this is the kind of thing that you should be doing all the time. I'm going to call this alternate 2, and let's say that I have read somewhere that you can also perform an analysis using peaks instead of troughs. How do you do that? You simply click on the peaks button over there. All right, and then I click on the Analyze Now button and say perform an analysis on this chart, assuming that the peaks are synchronized. It is one of the fundamental principles of Hurst cyclic principles, one of the absolute fundamental principles of the theory, that the troughs of stock markets, price movements, are synchronized, not the peaks. Okay, that's a really fascinating and complex discussion that we would need to have on a different trader chat on a different day. But as you can see, Sentient Trader is now performing this analysis with synchronized peaks. So we can see, as a matter of interest, what Sentient Trader thinks is happening in the cyclic picture, assuming that the peaks of these troughs are synchronized. Is that a valid analysis? I don't believe so, no, because this is a stock. Okay, it's not, well, it's a future of a stock index. Therefore, potentially, in fact, it definitely should be synchronized troughs. But Sentient Trader makes it so easy to create new charts and create alternative analyses that the thing you should be doing with your workspaces is create a